So, hello guys, welcome back to the Complete Python series. In this video, we are going to see about global variables and local variables in Python. Before moving further, let us understand what are global variables. Global variables are defined and declared outside a function. We can access a global variable anywhere in a program. If the value of global variable is changed anywhere in the program, then the value of global variable will be changed for the entire program. Now let us see what is a local variable. Local variable is a variable which has a local scope. It means that the variables which we declare inside a function are local variables. These variables are accessed only in the scope in which the variables are declared. When we move outside the scope, then these variables are by default removed from the memory. So let us understand this with a help of small example. So I have taken a variable s and assigned a string global to it. Now let us declare a function that is scope. And in this function, we will create a local variable x and assign a string local to it. Now let us print that we are inside a function. Now let us access the variables, that is print s. This will print the value of global variable. Similarly, we can also print the value of x. Now let us call this function by using name of function followed by parenthesis. Now let us run this code. You can see that when we are inside a function, we are able to access global variable as well as the local variable. This is because the global variable can be accessed in the entire program, and the local variable x is declared inside the scope function. So we can access the value of x only inside the function. Now let us try to print the value of x outside the function. And let us also print the value of s. Now let us run the code. Now you can see that we get an error, that is x is not defined. This is because the x is declared inside the function and the scope of x is only between the function. Once the function is executed, the variable goes out of the scope and the value of x is removed from the memory. Hence, we cannot access it outside a function. This was the basics of global variable and local variable in Python. Now let us understand what is global keyword in Python. In Python programs, different variables have different scopes. The variable may or may not be accessible inside a function depending upon where it is declared. So, a global keyword is a keyword which allows us to modify the variable outside of the current scope. And the global keyword is used to create a global variable from a non-global scope, that is inside a function. Now let us declare some variables and assign few value to it. Now initially I have taken 3 variables and assigned some values to it. Now we will write a function add to add the values of a and b. So we will just write sum equal to a plus b. This will calculate the sum of a plus b. Then we will just use print statement to print the value of sum. Then let us call a function add. After calling a function, we will again print the value of some variable. Now let us run the code. You can see that when we execute a function, the value of sum is been printed as 15. But as we go out of a function, then the value of sum is again set to 0. This is because in the global scope we have value of sum is equal to 0. So this proves that when we try to update a global variable inside a function, then this global variable is changed only for that particular function. But when we access the same variable outside the function, then the value is not changed. So to handle such cases, we use global keyword. So in some cases, we need to update the value throughout the program. So if we want to update the value throughout the program, we need to make the sum variable inside a function as a global variable. So for that we use global keyword and write the name of variable. So inside this function we have declared sum as a global variable. So when we change the value of sum inside the function, then it will be updated in a global scope also, and the value is changed for the entire program. So let us run the code. You can see that we are getting the value of sum as 15 when we execute the add function, and we are also getting the value of sum as 15 when we exit the function. So this is the main purpose of using global keyword. This was all about the global and the local variables in Python. Thank you.